discussed about a small example working with array, how we can read the values from an array, declaring arrays. So one okay. So this is the example we learned in the last session. So while working with arrays, this is one example. So we designed this example. Yeah, this is the example. So in this example, we designed the next and the previous how to handle navigation by using these buttons as well as this slider also. With slider also we can move and we can define. So we learnt about how to create array, how to define the values into an array. Now we will see some important array manipulations. See important array manipulations. Array manipulation related some important commands. So in JavaScript, you need to know about array manipulations. So you need to understand some methods, some important properties and methods that are used for manipulations. Technically, JavaScript array object provides a set of properties and methods that are used to manipulate array. So it provides set of properties and methods that are used to manipulate array. What are these properties and methods? One simple example we will see. Step by step, level by level. First important is reading values from an array. How we can read values from an array. Reading values from an array. Actually, to read values from an array, individually we learnt by using a property. Some important methods are there. So what is the method and description? What are the methods used for reading values from an array? So we have methods toString. It reads and returns the array elements into a string separated with comma, separated with comma. It reads and returns the array elements into a string separated with comma. That is toString. We can use join. It reads and returns the array elements into a string separated with user defined delimiter. Delimiter means your own separator. That means your own separator, whatever the separator you have defined by using that own separator. So you can read the values from an array by using toString and by using join, or you can use one more important is for of. You can use for of. Actually, it is an iterator used to read and return all elements in an array. You can use for of operator. For is a statement, of is an operator to read all the elements. You can read and return all the elements of an array by using toString, by using join, by using for of like operators. You can also use find. You can also use find, and you can use filter for reading the values. Find and filter for reading the values. One example we will see. Actually, I will show you all these examples. Find, it can search and return the array element. So actually it can search and return the array element. So it can search for any value and return that value. That means technically it can search for a value by using any condition. It can search for any value by using condition and return the first occurrence value. And return the first occurrence value. That means it will not return all values, the first occurrence value. That is the find function. Filter, it can search for a value, for value or values by using a condition, and return all values that are matching the condition. That's how it can return. So we need to learn how to use these options. Examples we will see. That means how we can manage them. So toString, join, for of, find, filter. These are all the important array related functions which are used for reading values from an array. Let's see. So how we can manage them. I will create a new file. I will add a new file, and let's name this as array manipulations. First, we will understand those functions. Then we will create an example based on that. So here we are adding a script and a function, and let's call the function, and here we create var, and here we are defining products is an array. So we have TV, so we have mobile, we have shoe, like this, and I want to read. So document dot write. So we are using so one products dot toString. What toString can do is, so I will use backtick toString. What toString can do? Let's print that and show. So what toString can do? We are printing it, right? And backtick close. Okay. Now you can see what toString can do. ToString converts the array elements into a string. It will convert the array elements into a string, and you can see it prints them by separating with comma. It prints them by separating with comma. You can also use, after that I will put br, break. I am writing document dot write. Another, you can use join. You see here products dot join, and here I am using the separator, and I am defining the separator, and the separator I will keep here as my own separator, my own symbol. You can add your own separator, and you can see here it will print by using your own separator. You can see join will do that. So join is used for reading the elements from an array and presenting them with your own separator, that you can manage by using join. So it can read the values and join them and print them with your own separator. You can use any. Suppose I am using slash, forward slash, and it uses that slash as a separator, right? I can use any separator for printing that. So I can use any separator for printing. So when you are presenting, you can use your own separator. Sequential order. It can read the elements in a sequential order, and it can return those elements. Let's see. I will take this example first, and I will put that example here. So this is toString and join. How to use an example is this. how we can use toString and join. Another example, let's see how to use for off, how we can use for off. Suppose I want to read all the elements. So then what we can do is we can use for, and we have to use var item of collection products. That means now for will read every item from this collection. Of is used to read every item from that collection and store in item. That means item is a variable. In that variable, it will store every item present inside these products. It will read one by one. And I need to print that item. Then document.write, just I can print that item. $item. I am printing that item and BR line break. Now you can see every item, it reads and prints line by line. That means every element you can read from an array by using a simple for off. By using for off, we can read it. So it is a very simple mechanism. Later, I will tell you about looping, how to read. Here we are learning about some special operators and methods which are available to read the values directly. Later you will learn about for loops, how to create. This is not for loop. This is called for iterator. So we have a lot of difference between iterator and loop. Generally for iterator, you have to tell the collection. It will go into the collection if there is anything to read and reads it and moves to the next one automatically. So looping is not like that. Looping requires a condition. Looping requires a counter. Looping requires iterators and all. Here, it can directly access the elements and return. So you can use a for off operator in order to read the elements from an array. Directly, it can read the elements from an array. So in various situations, how to use them, we will see with examples, right? How we can work with them. But this is important. This is important. So we are reading the values from an array by using toString, by using join, by using for off. We have find and filter function. Actually, find and filter. Find is available. These are new functions actually. They are available from ES5. We can use them. JavaScript ES5 onwards, we can use a find function. Older versions, older browsers cannot understand that find function. So you will get problem while compiling in old version browsers, especially find, because it's a new option. But currently in all your browsers, it will work, right? Because all your browsers are advanced browsers only. So what is the purpose of find function is nothing but, for example, see where I have sales is equal to, I am having some 12,000, 40,000, 35,000, 2,000, 6,000 like this. Now important, I want later you will work with complex data. I want all the sales, all the sales which are greater than 30,000, all the sales greater than 30,000. Now important is two sales are there greater than 30,000. I want all the sales greater than 30,000. So we have 2 points. One is we can use the operator, we can use the operator, we can use find, but find will not return all, find will return first occurrence. You mention a condition less greater than 30,000. First one is matching with 30,000, greater than 30,000. It will return the first one and stop. That is the concept of find actually. So that means find function. Actually, syntax for find function is like this. We have to define collection dot find, and here we have to write a function. We have to write a function. Now here we have to pass the value, and we need to check the value and the condition. Value and condition. We have to write the value and condition. The syntax is written like this. Syntax is written like this. So no need to confuse about that. I will just show you the basic syntax, how it actually does. That means how actually this find function is going to work. We will see one simple scenario, how it actually works. So this find function uses a callback function. It is called callback function. Means a function within another function. This function will take the values and return the value based on the condition. That's what actually they do. That is the find and the purpose of find. That is important about find. Let's see how it actually works. How it actually works. How the find option actually works. So that scenario I will show you here. So we are using a collection. So we are using a collection. That means we are using an array. So in this we have some values, some A, B, C, D, like this values are there. So this is some data. This is some data we are having. Now important is we are using a find function. This find function is used on the data. On the data we are using find function. Actually, this find function will use a function. And into the function it will pass the value. That is the find function. And it will return. Suppose value is equal to some C. Like this we return condition. Now what it will do is in the data, this is data. Find function will take the first value A, and it will pass the first value into this val. That means here A is passed into that function. It will verify is it matching with it or not. If it is not matching, then it will go to the second one. It will pass the second one into this function, that is B. It will verify B is also not matching. Then it will go to the third one. It will see C is matching. C is matching. It will pass, actually it will pass C. C is coming here. C is verified, it is matching. Then it will return that C as an output. Suppose there is another C. Now find function will return the first C. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will return at 2, which is present. It will return. And after returning, it will stop. It will not continue again. That means find function can search for your value. It will pass the value into a function. That function will search for your value according to condition. And it will return that value if matching the condition. Only first one will come. Then you may ask, like, every occurrence should come. Every occurrence should come. For that you have another function. Instead of find, you can use filter. So for example, see here, we are going to write a function. So sales first document dot write. So here we want to print. Then what we do? Sales. In the sales, we have to define dot find. And find is expecting a function inside it. We have to pass a function. Okay. We have to pass the function. For clarity, I am pressing enter and going to the next line. Into the function, we have to pass value. And we need to verify return value if it is greater than or equal to 30,000. That is how we write the condition. So this is how we need to define. And it will return it. So I will save. And you can see it is returning that 40,000. It is not returning all. It will return only the first one. Remember which one, because it will come in an order one by one. The 0 index value is not matching. 1 index is matching with that condition. It is greater than 30,000. Then it will return. After returning, then it will stop. It will not go to next. That is actually the find function. So find function will return only the first occurrence. This is the program. That means in the output, you will get only 40,000. You will get only 40,000. I want to return all. Then you can use filter. Filter also same. So we have collection dot filter, and use a function, and the function will use a value, and here we have to return the value based on the condition, like this. That means no, just I will change the find to filter. Filter. Now you can see when I change find to filter, you can observe it is going to return all of them. It will return all of them. Suppose I return the condition, so less than 30,000. Less than or equal to 30,000, so many values are there. It will return all of them. 12,000, 2,000, 6,000. Right. How to display in ascending order, descending order, that you will learn in sorting concept. But here we need to understand how do we do that by using a simple filter. Actually, this is one example. This is one example. This is the example. There are so many methods of writing this. Actually, we can write like this. See, first you write a function. So function is search, some function. This search function is expecting value and return value greater than or equal to 30,000. Okay, that is the function. Now document dot write. Here we are using dollar. Here we are using sales dot filter, and filter is asking for a function, and we have a function called search. That function name you have to give. That's it. That means instead of writing the function inside this, we can write the function separately and you can call that here. That looks more better, simplified in your approach. I will say here, so this function is called here. Actually, we are not calling the function, we are pointing towards the function. That means we need just name, not parenthesis required. Parenthesis not required, because it is asking just function name. Which function? Function name. You have to only give the function name, not the function signature. Function name is such, just you have to give that function name. You have to give that function name. I just given that function name and click on search, and it is returning that. This looks better. Every time you can directly write a function and you can call the function. So you can use the example in this way also. So as of now, we are working on simple data. Later, we will work on complex data. When we work on complex data, then it can have more interactions. That means we can do more filtering and searching in the complex data. So that we will design in examples how to do. But for that, we need to understand some more data types actually. As of now, filter and find. What is the difference between them? So the difference, find will return the first occurrence value, and filter will return all the values. And the syntax and example is this. You can use in any way. For find also, you can try the same. So we have to write a separate function and configure that. So this is reading the values from an array. How we can read values from an array. Similarly, next important we need to understand is adding values into array. How we can add values into array? So into array, in order to add values, we have some methods. What are the methods used for adding values into array? So we can use push as a function. So it adds a new element into array. It adds a new element into array as last element. It adds a new element into array as last element. Similarly, unshift, it adds a new element as first element. It adds a new element into array as first element. And you have splice. It adds new elements. Actually, it is one element or several elements. It adds new element at a specified index. That means wherever you want, you can add it. So in order to add new elements, so new values into array, we have push, we have unshift, and we have splice. Push will add towards the end. Unshift will add towards the beginning as a first element. Splice can add anywhere you want. Generally, how to use them? Example, simple. Suppose already some values are there. I will create var products is equal to some TV, some mobile, some shoe, like this. And I want to print. In order to print the values from array, we can use a technique here like this. We will use a for loop, for iterator actually. So we need to print regularly. First, we will see the basic logic. So document.write, and this is products collection. I want to print simply products.toString. We are printing it. It will print separated with commas. So all the products are separated with comma. Okay. At the end, I will add br. Okay. Now I am using this function. I will copy this and I will cut this and I will write a function. I will write a function called print list. Print list function contains this statement. Now what is advantage is, whenever I want this statement again and again, we don't need to write. We can directly access it. We don't need to write again and again. We need to just directly access it. So here the point is, it is a reusable function. Okay. Now I will call that print list here. So print list. So it is printing. So initially that is working fine. Okay. After that, products dot push. We are adding a new element, watch. You can add any number of elements. I'm adding another element as sunglass, like this. You can add any number of elements, one or many. You can see after that I will print list again. Now what push will do? Before push, these are the values. After push, I am again printing the values. And you can see now. So this is the new values. And you can observe push is used to add the new values towards the end. It is used to add the new values towards the end. So that means push is used to add new values towards the end as last items. Suppose I'm using products dot unshift and a laptop, only one we are using, and print list again. This time you can see laptop is added towards the beginning as a first element, not as last element. That means we are adding towards the beginning. So push will add as last item and unshift will add as the first item. So we can add new elements by using push and by using unshift. We can also use splice so that we can add anywhere we want. Actually, syntax is simple. So array collection dot push. So here we have to define new item. So here new item, like this. We can add so many. And similarly, collection dot unshift, we can add new item. And we can add new item 2, like this. We can add the new items, any number. And collection, we have splice. Splice is used to add start index and items to remove, count of items to remove, and new item and new item 2. We can add any number of items. This is a special syntax for splice. That means at which index you want to add, how many you want to remove if already some items are there. If you don't want to remove the existing items, then you can keep it as 0. So how we can use splice? Let's see. Suppose I want to add a new item after TV. So after TV, I want to add a new item. Then what you will do here, products dot splice start index. TV is starting at 2, means after TV we have to add. Then we need to add it 2 because TV is at 1. After that, comma, how many items to remove from there? Don't remove anything, 0. After that, what is your new item to add? New item, some earpods. Okay. And I save this and I will refresh. And after that, I will have to print a print list. I am calling the print list again. And it will print. You can see it is earpods after TV. That means you can add an element at any location. That's how we can manage. So we are adding items towards the end. We are adding items towards the beginning. We are adding items anywhere we want. So dynamically, I will show you with example. Dynamically means from controls how we can add and manage them. because for that we need to learn several more points also. Okay, this is adding items into array. For that, this is one example. You can use this example. This is for adding items into array. This is very much required in future while working with complex data. How to use push, shift, unshift, and splice. These are adding values into array. So we have push, we have unshift, and we have splice. These are the methods for adding values. Similarly, removing values from array. That means removing values from array. To remove values from array, we have three methods again. So what are the methods we can use to remove values from an array? We can use pop. It removes and returns the last item. You can use shift. It removes and returns the first item. And you can again use splice. Splice is used. It removes any item based on specified index. So we can use pop, we can use shift, you can use splice. Pop will remove the last item. So for example, I want to remove the last item. Actually, it will remove and return the last item. Currently, if I want to remove the last item, so then you can use pop. Okay, let's see. I will remove this code. So print list. It is printing. Currently, it is printing only standard list. Okay. I want to remove shoe. Then we can use here var removed item, or simply we will simply use general technique products dot pop. That's it. After that, print list again, and you can see that pop has removed the last item. Pop has removed the last item. The last item is removed, only two items are present. So we can remove the last item by using pop. Actually, pop will display. Actually, you see, it will return it. That means what I will do here is I'll say document.write. I will use this here. So that means dollar. Okay, pop. I'm defining like this. And what we will do is we will say that removed. And you can see it shows the message like shoe removed. And we will put a break. It will print like this. That means it is removing shoe. After removing shoe, it is printing. That means only TV and mobile are there. So pop is to remove the last item. If I want to remove the first item, then here instead of pop, I will use shift here. Shift. You can see now shift will remove the first item. It says TV removed. Then you can see only mobile and shoe is there. So TV removed. First item is removed. So pop and push. Pop and we have shift. These are the two options. Example, we can use like this. So you can define shift. So this is shift. This is an example. It removes first item. That is TV. Am I right? And similarly, I can use again by changing here. Instead of shift, you can keep pop. That means it will remove, this removes last item. Last item is shoe, like this. If I want to remove any specific item, that means suppose I want to remove mobile, then I can do like this. I can use here, instead of shift, I can use splice. Splice. At which index you want to remove? At one index I want to remove. From one index, how many you want to remove? I want to remove one. That's it. That means splice, from which index you want to start. How many you want to remove from there? You can remove two also. That means it will remove, so mobile and shoe. And it will print, you can see it will print only two, TV. Mobile, shoe removed, and it will print only TV. Only one I want to remove, I can use one. Then only one will be removed. Mobile removed, only TV and shoe are printed. So you can define how many items to remove from that specific index that we can manage by using this one. This is an example here. So splice allows to remove based on the specific index and get from that specific index, right? So what you are talking about, is that related to our current concept? Is it related to our current concept? Huh? What previous example? Are you talking about our example? What is the problem in this example for you? First, you know what doubt you want to ask. Simply don't send a message without knowing your doubt also. Nah? If you have any doubt, first prepare your doubt. Finally, you say that I forgot what is my doubt. That's not good. Huh? First, you know your doubt and then ask your doubt, what you are exactly asking about. Huh? Right. So now here, this is the basic approach, how we can handle. So what we learned here in this, three important options. One is how we are reading the values from array, how to add values into array, and how we can remove values from array. Some more points are there. How we can search for values in an array, and how we can deal all these dynamically. Dynamically means through HTML controls and manipulations. That we will see how to handle them. That we will see in tomorrow's session, right? Mostly by tomorrow, we will finish arrays concept and we will try some examples now with this arrays concept, right? Then we can continue with this. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue.